Free King Ride, Free King Ride, Free King Ride, Free King Ride. It looks like that is the message that is being sent by fans of Ryan Garcia after the comments that have been made by Ryan Garcia that has, gone through the Athletic, as he gave his thoughts on what has been going on recently between him and Golden Boy Promotions. Now, we did have this particular announcement of sorts earlier when the WBC announced that they would order Ryan Garcia to fight Luke Campbell for the position of being the mandatory for the WBC lightweight championship. But it seems like that fight may be up in the air still, as Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions looks like they're having more problems yet again. Now, going through the history between Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions and Oscar De La Hoya, we're going to go backwards with it, so bear with me on this one. Now, we are here. This is July 10th, 2020, and on July 4th, Ryan Garcia was originally scheduled to face Jorge Linares. This was kind of like set up back in February or whatnot, because he had a main event. He was main eventing a fight, and Jorge Linares was part of the co-feature. So once you had Ryan Garcia score the first round knockout, they were looking forward to trying to have him be featured in a main event against Jorge Linares. Well, of course, you had this whole thing with COVID-19 strike down on the world, and that had affected the sport of boxing without question. But as we have seen, now we have slowly gotten back to action within boxing, so we have live boxing in the United States. Now, Golden Boy Promotions is able to announce a couple of fights that will be happening. But before they made one formal announcement in reference to Jorge Linares, it was released that the team for Ryan Garcia was not quite ready for a fight between Garcia and Jorge Linares. So that is partially why you see Jorge Linares now in a fight with Javier Fortuna, right? So that kind of had fans of boxing kind of looking at Ryan Garcia sideways right there. You know what I'm saying? Now, you have that, and Ryan Garcia and his team are like, hold up, what's going on with all this here? That you're kind of like putting this out there like I'm ducking the fight, and I ain't ducking no challenges out here, and now, with this thing, with the announcement of the WBC ordering, Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell to be fighting for the mandatory position, that looks like a very good matchup. But now it seems like there's more problems. Ryan Garcia has talked about, y'all need to pay me what I should deserve. Me having the following that I have, whether it's on social media or actually the fans in the seats or whatever, y'all should pay me accordingly. And if you don't, then I'm, just going to sit back and chill. Sit it out. Now, this is not the first time that we've had this type of issue. Of course, you had the thing last year where Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia were having a little bit of a spat because Golden Boy was saying that, Ryan Garcia's kind of reluctant to fight Romero Duno, and he's like, "What? Hold up, nah, that ain't even the case. What are you talking about? Like, me not wanting to fight Romero Duno? Like, it's pretty much the same instance as what we have here in the present. It's almost like they put it out there like he was quote unquote ducking Romero Duno, and he's like, "What? Nah, that ain't it. That ain't it." So here we are once again. Golden Boy Promotions, Oscar De La Hoya, and Ryan Garcia with the same stuff happening again. Now, last time they were able to work something out, and he was able to fight Romero Duno, and then later on down the line, he was able to be featured in the main event. But now we're gonna see what happens here, because this particular instance where he was going to fight Jorge Linares being a former world champion, that would kind of put, Ryan Garcia in a position to soon fight for a world title. You have Jorge Linares there within the top 5 in the WBC rankings. You have, Ryan Garcia there in the top 5 in the WBC rankings. So you have that, but now with the announcement that was made between Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell, now you have that as a potential matchup to set the winner up to fight for the WBC lightweight championship held by Devin Haney. But if this whole thing, this back and forth between Ryan Garcia and Golden Boy Promotions continues, then you might not have that fight happen, and that's going to be an absolute problem. That's going to be all for now. Be sure to subscribe to the Boxing Source on YouTube and catch the Boxing Source radio show live Sundays at 7:30, or catch it on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, whatever your favorite podcast app is. On that note, I'm out. Peace.